Hey guys, it's Joker, and today I'm going to be showing y'all how to play Sunspot. And Sunspot, he's a really high damage champ, and he's a really passive champ to play, in all honesty, which I tend to have trouble with those, so I'm going to do my best here. But let's just dive straight into his abilities. Keep in mind, this is a rank 4 level 44 star, which is about the equivalent of a rank 2 5 star. And his awakened ability, it increases the number of his solar charges. That's all it does. But that can be helpful for, putting him in longer fights, basically it makes it easier for you to ramp him up. Speaking of his solar charges, unawakened, he has a maximum of 80 stacks of them. With the 4 star at Sig 99, he gets up to 110 of them. I believe with the 5 star at Sig 200, he gets 120. But he is immune to all incinerate effects, and whenever he would be incinerated, he instead gains 5 solar charges. And he starts the fight with his maximum solar charges. 1 charge expires every 3 seconds. And then we have Flare State, which is a maximum of 10 stacks. This is where his damage comes from. Sunspot, he gets his Flare States for as long as he has solar charges. When you run out of solar charges, your Flare States deactivate. And if you are under the effect of shock, as well as running out of solar charges, Flare State is disabled and all stacks are removed. And whenever his attacks make contact with the opponent, he trades 1 solar charge per hit for each stack of Flare State. And each charge expended increases the damage of that hit by 392.5. His incinerates, whenever he strikes the opponent, he inflicts an incinerate for each solar charge expended, dealing a very small amount of energy damage for 5 seconds. But his incinerates are not there to deal damage. I'll get to that when we get to the well-timed blocks in the heavy. But his incinerates remove perfect block chance and lower the opponent's block proficiency by 50%. And if a strike fails to apply an incinerate on an opponent due to chance, or whenever an incinerate is purified, gain 10% of a bar of power and 1 solar charge. Remember that. As Sunspot gains power, the potency of any power gained by incinerates is reduced by up to 57%. On well-timed blocks, for as long as your opponent is incinerated, they grant 100% perfect block chance for the duration of the opponent's combo or special attack. And when Sunspot performs a perfect block, he purifies 1 incinerate debuff on his opponent. So remember, up here when it's talking about the incinerates, each time an incinerate is purified, you gain power. On the parry, you purify 1 incinerate. And when charging a heavy attack, you purify 1 incinerate debuff on your opponent every 0.18 seconds. So the incinerates are mainly there to get you power so you can activate your specials. And the specials are where his damage really comes out. And special 1, each time you activate it, you gain an additional stack of Flare State. Doing this ramps up his damage, and incinerates inflicted during this special attack last 9 seconds longer. His special 2 is where his damage comes in 100%. And the final hit expends up to 15 solar charges, and for each stack of Flare State, he gains a prowess effect, increasing the damage dealt by the special attack by 200%. So, use special 1 to ramp up your Flare State, and then you drop the special 2 to do a massive damage special 2. His special 3, it recovers his solar charges. So if you start running really low, you want to push to that special 3, so that way you can keep your flare state. And for every 20 solar charges recovered, Sunspot inflicts an Incinerate debuff, dealing 785 energy damage over 12 seconds. So these are a little bit more potent than his normal Incinerates, but still, in the grand scheme of things, you still want to use these to gain the power. Even though these are roughly, I'd say, about 75 to 80% of his attack, you still want to trade them off for that energy, for that power. That way you can get more flare states and drop special 2s that are beefed up from your flare states more often. His synergies, he has his new mutants with Cable and Warlock. Ability accurate for all mutant champions. Ability accuracy is increased by 30% during special attacks. And this is where Sunspot's synergies are really unique. Increased to up to 60% based on Sunspot's signature level. For leading Avengers, for Avengers and New Avengers champions. When fighting villain champions, reduce the potency of any power, sting, and damage over time effects by 10%. Increased to up to 40% based on Sunspot's signature level. All champions gain enemies level 3 with Mephisto and Hela. All champions gain plus 125 critical rating, increased to up to 325 based on Sunspot's signature level. And then Friends at level 3, all champions gain plus 130 armor rating, increased to up to 330 based on Sunspot's signature level. So, synergies I'm running with them, I'm just using the X-Men crit synergy team, just to kind of beef up those crits even more, make them happen a little more often. And I'm just going to hop in here and pretty much show you how to do this on Realm of Legends. So you want to do a 5 combo, parry, medium, and then heavy into I'm sorry, I blanked. Into a, you want to do it into a heavy and then interrupt your heavy with your special 1 to get that flare state. And then I did a lot of screw ups there, so I got really low on my solar charges, so I'm going to pop my special 3 to get them all back. And then that puts some nice, lengthy, decent incinerates on them. Do the heavy interrupt. Well, I fucked up a lot, but I mean, I only hit him 74 times with a rank 4 4-star and got him down almost 200,000 health. I mean, that's, and yeah, that's a lot of damage in a short amount of time. I am not a good sunspot player. I understand his rotation, but I just not good at using him. He doesn't fit. He's a really good champion. He just doesn't fit my personal play style. I'm mainly just, making this so that way people can understand his rotation. So really his rotation is, use special 1 to increase the amount of flare states you have. And then, dependent on the length of the fight you're in, like in a longer fight like Realm of Legends, you want to go to the S3 so that way you can keep doing more S1s to get more flare state, and then just pop an absolutely stupidly massive special 2. Or, vice versa, you're in a shorter fight. Depending on how short the fight is, you could just balls to the wall straight to the special 2, maybe activate 1 or maybe 2 special 1s and then go to the special 2 as well if they got a little bit bigger health pools. And then really the main way you play him is you get into the fight, you get your first 5-hit combo, parry, and then while they're stunned from the parry, medium and charge your heavy. Doing that, that's gonna take all the incinerates that you put on them, take that, purify all of them, give you the power from them, and also give you your solar charges back. So you really have to play passively and defensively with Sunspot, which again is not my cup of tea. It's not for me. But he can be an extremely hard-hitting champion when played correctly. As you can see, I played him nowhere near correctly, and he still hit extremely hard. So that's about all with Sunspot, and thanks for watching.